Thank you, Jason. We can probably measure it by this current event. You know, we are actually playing the World Group 2 playoffs. So in terms of grading, I would say as a nation, that's where we are. This is the World Group 2. You have rightly mentioned that we soared heights during the black era. And yes, that is very, very correct because then we actually went into the elite group where we were beating rubbing shoulders Australia, US, etc., etc. So right now we are in Group 2. It's not bad. We could do better, and we'll prepare for that.
And currently, how are the preparations you have been putting in place for this tour to happen?
Going on well. Our boys are on the circuit, as we know. Our main boys, Benjamin and Courtney, so they are back in camp now, and preparations are going on well. And we've got our Davis Cup captain, Gunyat, who is a Davis Cup player himself. So things and the team all upbeat and raring to go.
But is there any deliberate policy to make sure that the game of tennis in Zimbabwe reaches far and wide?
There is, Johnson. You will actually notice that when you see our team in camp, we have 2 juniors in there. That's a deliberate policy to say that we have these guys, Courtney and Benjue, carried us through, but they must have a replacement. And that's why we have those juniors in there. We have other juniors we have featured even in Davis Cup before. One is Benedict Badza. He played in Pretoria, he played in Hong Kong. So we have that deliberate policy.
So, okay, so how is Zimbabwe fared in the past, maybe Davis Cups like these? How has it been? Can you just shed a bit of light?
My analysis of the past 3 years is what it has demonstrated is that we belong to Group 2 because what has happened each time we play in our playoffs, we either succeed or fail and go back to Group 3, and when we go back to Group 3, we immediately bounce back to Group 2, which demonstrates that that's where we belong, and it all depends with who you are then pitted against in your playoffs.
But what would you then want to see happening to tennis in Zimbabwe under your tenure? Or what can we expect else other than maybe what is currently there? What's your vision?
What I would expect is that we need, under my vision, I would want to ensure that there is critical mass. And I think that's lacking. The way our tennis is structured or placed at the moment, the architecture is that we haven't got people coming through from the grassroots. And that's what I would want to ensure that it happens under my tenure.
And how are you going to be doing it? Is there a blueprint to that?
Thanks to the International Tennis Federation. Through the Junior Tennis Initiative, we have covered all the provinces. And there is activity from even your play and stay, but we have a robust activity on the under 14s, under 16s. Just recently, we were playing our zonals in Namibia, and Zimbabwe came second. So that road is clear, and the pathway we are going to follow through.
And very lastly, what are your expectations for the upcoming games?
We are on home soil. I would expect us to win. We are upbeat. This is tennis. All I would say is I would rally every Zimbabwean to come through and push the boys. We've got what it takes to carry the day. So I'm only appealing to all Zimbabweans to come in their numbers. This should be our time, and our boys are ready.